Hi guys, it's me again. Yeah, here we go with the first of today's videos. As we're on Bolivia. Yeah, the people of Bolivia were believed to be civilized hundreds of years before the Spanish kind of came. As the city of Tiahuanaco was founded in what is now Bolivia about 400 BC. And at its peak there was about 40 to 50,000 people living there. And created great works of architecture, and they also worked in that's right. They also worked in pottery, silver, copper, and obsidian. And from about 700 AD onwards, Tiahuanaco ruled a great empire in Bolivia and southern Peru. However, about 1000 AD, the empire broke up and was replaced by small states. And by the 15th century, the Incas pretty much conquered Bolivia. However, in 1533, the Incas were conquered by the Spanish. And the Spanish founded cities in Bolivia like Chuquisaca in 1538, La Paz in 1548, Cochabamba in 1571, and Aurora in 1606. As 1545, silver was discovered at Potosi, and the Spanish used forced labor to mine the silver. As many of the native people who lived there were forced to work in mines, and the mines became their grave, as many more died of European diseases. And by 1980, it's understandable that they were pretty angry and resentful as they all boiled over into rebellion, as the Indians believed they could revamp the old Inca Empire and replace the unjust and oppressive Spanish rule. However, they were disunited and failed to capture La Paz, as by 1782 the Great Rebellion in Bolivia was crushed, and yet in 1808 the rebellion began again, and the people of Spanish descent led this one as it began when Napoleon's army conquered Spain and deposed the Spanish king and made his brother Joseph king of Spain. As for many South Americans already satisfied with Spanish rule, it was a last straw, and in 1809 the people of La Paz declared independence. But the rebellion was crushed, but the movement for independence within Bolivia was now unstoppable, as the fighting continued across the continent and Spanish armies were gradually defeated. More and more regions of South America became independent until the 6th of August 1825. Bolivia, on the 6th of August 1825, Bolivia finally became independent from Spain, as a new nation was named and renamed Bolivia in honor of Simon Bolivar, the hero of the independence movement. However, the new Republic of Bolivia faced an economic depression, as many silver mines were abandoned. As Bolivia became more backwards and impoverished, as the first president of Bolivia was General Sucre, as he was followed by Marshal Andres de Santa Cruz. He was president from 1829 to 1839, and as in 1836 he tried to unite Bolivia with Peru, but the Chileans felt threatened and they fought the War of Confederation from 1836 to 39 to break up the Union. And in 1879, Bolivia increased taxation on Chilean-owned nitrate companies. As a result, a war called the War of the Pacific. In 1884, Bolivia lost the strip of coast she controlled and became a landlocked country. However, in the late 19th century, the silver industry in Bolivia was revived, helped by capital from Britain and Chile and the new by new technology. As economically, Bolivia prospered as tin mining boomed and replaced silver mining as the main industry. Meanwhile, railways built within Bolivia, linking parts of Bolivia. They hadn't done before, as in the north, a rubber industry boomed, however, politically, as the conservative liberal divide. And in 1899, Bolivian liberals rose in rebellion as the so-called Federal Revolution ended with the liberals seizing power. And then in 1900, rubber tappers in the Arequipa region of rebelled demanding independence, as they were supported by the Brazilian, and in 1903, the government decided to sell Arequipa to Brazil. It was kind of short-lived, as in 1920 the conservatives staged a coup and regained power within Bolivia. Okay. Here we go again. As in 1920 the conservatives staged a coup in Bolivia and regained power. And in the 1920s, mining in Bolivia flourished, but after the Wall Street crash of 1929, the economy suffered severely. And in July 1932, border disputes led to the Cacao War between Bolivia and Paraguay. As the war went very badly for Bolivia, and many of the men died in the conflict, as the war ended in 1935, but in 1936 army officers staged a coup and they introduced a regime they called military socialism, as they nationalised the holdings of the American Standard Oil Company. As during this time the radical idea was spreading in Bolivia, and the Movimiento Nacionalista Revolucionaria, or MNR, was formed, and in 1943 the MNR formed alliance with some army officers and they staged a coup, as Gualberto Varela led to a new government, but Varela was overthrown by revolution in 1946, and he was hanged outside the presidential palace, as Bolivia was then ruled by a coalition of traditional parties until 1951, when the army took control again. But in 1952 the MNR launched a revolution and returned to power in Bolivia, as they embarked on a program of reform, as the three biggest tin companies in Bolivia were nationalised and universal suffrage was introduced, as everyone was given birth of the vote. But in the mid-1950s, Bolivia suffered high inflation, and faced with economic troubles, the Bolivian government turned to the US for help, as the US gave loans to the economy as the economy stabilised. But in 1964 the army staged yet another coup, and for the next 18 years Bolivia endured the military dictatorship, as despite the recession, repression, the Bolivian economy boomed and the population grew rapidly. But in the 1980s the economy took a turn for the worst and faced mass demonstrations and internal condemnation, as the last junta stepped down and Congress was restored. In 1982 Hernando Salazar became president of Bolivia, but during his reign Bolivia suffered major economic problems ranging from inflation and stepping down one in 1985. As a successor, Tin Solro managed to curb inflation, but in 1989 he was replaced by Paz Zamora, as González Sánchez de Lozada replaced in 1993, as he undertook a privatization campaign, and under him the Bolivian economy started to grow. However, the Bolivian economy is still flagging from 1999, but started to grow again in 2003. And then in 2005, left-wing Evo Morales was elected president with plans to nationalise industry, as Morales was re-elected in president of Bolivia in 2009. As today, Bolivia still remains poor, but has rich in resources. It is kind of like places for tourism, like natural tourism and all. As Bolivia also suffered in the 2009 recession, but recovered from it. As it is still growing. And the population stands around 11 million. So yeah, bye for now, I'll see you shortly.